Have you ever looked at how easy it is to love people who look like you, right? Who believe like you do, who sort of grew up in the same neighborhood you grew up in, share some of your same views. It's easy to love those kind of folks, right? It's real easy. But when it gets difficult, when you're trying to love people who don't look like you, who don't act like you, how about this, who don't worship like you, or who don't even vote like you. Oh, speaking of voting, I believe the polls opened up last week, right? Yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to, please make certain you do your civic duty. And we also have the honor of having a mayoral candidate for I think it's for the mayoralship at Concord, Alice Williams. If you please stand so folks can see you and wave your hand. Now, let me say this. Thank you. She'll be out in the lobby after worship, so if you'd like to go out and meet her and talk to her, I just want to make certain that you know that wasn't an endorsement, it was an introduction. And so if you want to know more about her views, her values, and her virtues, she'll be glad to share those with you out in the lobby after worship. Now, for those of you who have your Bibles, though, we want to look at this kind of love. Like I said, it's easy to love, but we want to see how we can put what we say in theory in practice. And so I want to talk about like a good, not a good neighbor. How about like a godly neighbor? Yeah, because most of us have been a good neighbor, right? But I want to talk about how we can be like a godly neighbor. So for those of you who have your hard copies, if you would open to the book of Matthew. And for my electronic savvy friends, I invite you, if you have our app, to tap on our app. And tap on the bottom right-hand corner, hit worship. Then tap on sermon notes. And then tap on today's date. And there you'll find Matthew. For those who have your hard copies, go to chapter 22. And for those of you who have the app, you should see it right there in the app. And we've been looking at these verses now for the last 4 to 6 weeks. And I want to just stay here for a while because I think there's something here to help us as we learn to get our relationships right. Matthew 22nd chapter, coming from the NIV, starting at verse 37. And there we find these words. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." He says, this is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. He says, all the law and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments. Now, remember when Jesus said this, I told you how they've been trying to trap him. But they brought this religious expert before him. One who should know the law inside and out. And he came to test Jesus with this question. And he wanted to know what was the greatest commandment. And Jesus gave him this statement right here. And so he pushed the envelope. And so Jesus told him this. But then he wanted to know, I'm really going to use a little background passage here to get a full part of the conversation. And you should have this in your in the app if you got it, but if not, find the book of Luke. It's a couple of books over from the book of Matthew. And I want you to put your finger in the 10th chapter, and we're going to look at starting at the 25th verse. Because there it says, after Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself, this lawyer, this theologian, this person who feels that he knows the Bible better than Jesus. Because now if you really would have seen Jesus in his day, it doesn't look like any of those folks y'all see on TV. He doesn't look like anything on your mama's wall with Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy and all of them folks sitting. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he doesn't look like any of that. In fact, if you were really to have seen Jesus in his day, I think it's over in the book of Isaiah, said he wasn't anything worth looking at. All right? He wasn't an attractive person. And he was really homeless because he said, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. So just imagine now when you're riding around, seeing some of the people that you see, you might really be looking at Jesus. So here they are testing him. And he wants to know, well, since you got that right and, you sort of one-up me on this right here, I want you to tell me, well, who is my neighbor? I believe that's around verse, 29, I believe. I believe it says, let me just take a look. I think that's right, Luke 10:29. Isn't that what it says? Yeah. Yes, there it is, right there. But he wanted to justify himself. Yeah, so this word justify, he wasn't trying, this wasn't a curious question. He was really trying to control the conversation. Because in the Jewish culture, when Jesus says to love your neighbor as yourself, they had reduced this to pretty much what we have reduced a neighbor to, and that is someone who's in our culture, someone who's in our clan, someone who's in our community, someone who's in our crowd. Those that look like us, who act like us, who worship like us, who vote like us, who share the same views we have, the same values we have. That's who we consider our neighbor, right? And it's easy to be good to those kinds of individuals. So he pushes Jesus a little bit, and he wants to know, well, Jesus, who is my neighbor, all right? And so Jesus goes on, and if you take a look there now, he says in a reply, he says, a man was going down from from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, he passed on the other side. Let's stop right there. Just hold it right there. Now notice now, he asked Jesus who a neighbor is. And so Jesus now gives them this scenario, this parable. This person now was on his way, probably minding his own business. And during his travels, this was a rugged and rough passage from Jerusalem to Jericho. It was dangerous. You wouldn't want to be out there by yourself, especially at night. But this person now was beaten and left for half dead. And here you got now this priest. Now, in the Jewish culture, the priest was one who was supposed to model compassion, who was supposed to model godliness, who was supposed to model obedience to the law. And when he comes upon the brother, and watch this now, it is a Jew. And I'll show you why you'll know this in a minute. So he's of his community, he's of his culture, he's of his clan. But when he sees him now, notice what the text says. He's passed by on the other side. How many of y'all done that before? Come on now. You downtown and you say, let's not go that way, baby. Come on. Are y'all walking with me here? Now, this priest now, in our modern day, would be like the lead pastor. Ouch. Maybe he was trying to get the church so it wouldn't be late for a meeting or something, but something happened now. But what is really supposed to happen now? Because I think I gave y'all a definition of a kingdom revolutionist, right? I think I did. And so I think you need this right now. Because a kingdom revolutionist is someone whose beliefs and behaviors are solely governed by Jesus Christ. Listen to this part now, regardless of the consequences. I also want to put there, and the circumstances, right? And so really what this is when your orthopraxy, I'm going to show you a little bit of something here. Your orthopraxy, which is your right belief, lines up with your orthodoxy, lines up with what you believe, and your orthopraxy is how you behave. And so this priest is supposed to have both his orthodoxy and his orthopraxy lining up together, his belief and his behavior, just like we are. And it's supposed to govern how we behave. And so here it is now, when he has a chance to practice what he believes in his heart and knows in his head, his hands and feet went the other way. Y'all walking with me here? Jesus now says, okay, but he says, let's get rid of the preacher. Let's get rid of him. Let's get him out of here. Preacher had something to do, so let's give him a pass, right? Okay, all right, so I'm going to mess with the deacons then. So then he said the Levites, all right, and the trustees and the ushers and all of y'all and the choir members. He said the Levites, these were people who served the Lord, all right, who served the Lord and served in the temple. And he came over and looked on the brother. See, that's what you get. You had no business. Y'all know how we start saying, And here's some of us, he might be trying to fool me. I ain't going over there, right? So he passes by on the other side as well. And so then, Jesus has put this lawyer who's either a Levite or a priest. So he's really talking to him. Are y'all with me here? I don't know if he's a Levite or a priest. It says he's a lawyer, he's a scribe. He could have been either one of those. And so then he goes on. Now, go back to your text now. Then he goes back. Listen to what he says next. But, y'all know what I say about buts, right? We got company, so I can't say that. But a Samaritan, right, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. Isn't that what the text says? Oh, look what he did now. He went to him. That means he saw him at a distance. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine. Then he put the man on his donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. Watch this now. The next day, say the next day. The next day, he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hand of robbers? Say ouch if you can't say amen. Now, let's go back. We just sang about how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Ooh. I mean, y'all were rocking with it, rolling with it. Yeah. Thank you. See, I've been coming to choir rehearsals on Thursday. I've been sitting right back on the corner back there. They don't see me. I'm in the hole. I'm getting my note. I'm getting there. But watch this now. The text says we're to love the Lord how? Y'all don't even want to say it loud. We're supposed to love the Lord how? We're supposed to love the Lord how? So how does this kind of love look, right? This is the kind of love now that lets God rule your passions, your priorities, your perspectives, your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, your decisions. When you love him that way, you allow him to rule that way. And then it also is the type of love where you offer yourself completely to him. Y'all know we talked about being a living sacrifice, how you're going to lay yourself out, and he's going to have all of you. He's not part of your life. He is the center and the controller of your life. And then when you love like this, you're going to view people like God views people. You're going to see people like God sees people. And then everybody in your circle and out of your circle, you're going to show them the love of God, whether they're family, friend, or foe. You're going to show them this kind of love. Or are you going to act like the preacher? Okay, act like the preacher, or the deacon, or the trustee, or the choir member, or the pastoral assistant, or the parking lot team, or have I missed anybody yet? Or the pew warmer. Any of those, right? He's saying that we're supposed to love like that. Now, when we love like that, this is called situational love. It depends on the situation. Any of y'all got some situational love? Come on. Y'all in church. Anybody in here ever had any situational love other than me? Thank you. There's a few honest folks in the room. The rest of y'all going to church. And see, y'all thought I was, look at y'all. Yeah, see, he said, no, he didn't. All right. So let me give you what you have here. When you have situational love, you actually have a relationship glitch because you're basing your love on the situation. And situational love is disobedient love. Let me say that again. Situational love is disobedient love. God didn't tell us to love when it was convenient. Say ouch. Yeah, he didn't say love those who look like you. Say ouch. Those who act like you. Say ouch. Those who worship like you. Say ouch. Here's going to be a good one. Those who vote like you. Say ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah. Could you see how our country could be a whole lot different? If we just practice some biblical principles, not just in our head and not just in our hearts, but with our hands and with our feet. If we were to put it into practice, if our orthodoxy and our orthopraxy were to line up, but see, for the Levite and the priest, they were disconnected. They believed one thing, but they behaved another way. Help us, Lord. That's why we know we need a reset. Aren't you glad that God just doesn't point out our problems, that he pulls us out of them? So watch this now. Watch this. So let's go back. Let's look at what Jesus says here now. Let's go back to that Lucan passage now. Then he says, the expert said, no, this is what is beautiful. Look, after this, he says, okay, verse 36, Jesus says, which of these do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber? Watch this now. Don't miss this. Watch this closely. The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. Notice now, did y'all catch that? Notice. Now, I told you this man was a Samaritan, and a Samaritan was half Jew and half something else. And they call them half-breeds. Y'all ever call people half-breeds? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Yes. And they despise the Samaritans. And so here is the very person who you didn't think was going to help you. Sometimes that's going to be the very person who's going to put that spoon in your mouth. Notice what he did now. He put him in his car. That's your donkey, just in case you didn't know, right? Took him over to one of those weekly stays, right? Paid the money. Didn't come to the church. Took it out of his own pocket. Paid the money, right? Gave him some of his resources. He said he gave him wine and oil. Those would have been things he would have had on him just in case he got hurt. Oh, y'all not walking with me here. Yeah, just in case something happened to him. Are y'all walking with me here? And he says, look here, bruh, I'm going to pay up the time. And when I come back, not if, when I come back, what extra expenses you have, I'm going to pay it. The very person who's not supposed to like you and you don't like them. Your people walk right past you, walk right over you. But y'all miss it. Look at that verse again. The expert said, when Jesus says, which one of these was your neighbor? He couldn't even say Samaritan. Look what he said, the one. You ever talk about a person in a third person or another voice because you don't even want to call their names? You know how it is. You got such disdain for them. You don't even, you know them. That group. Watch this. Number 40. Oh, see, I didn't. See, don't even want to use the name. Don't even want it to pass your lips. That's not an amen. That's a Lord help me. Are y'all walking with me here? Him over there. Yeah, I heard you over there. Him over there. Yeah. Notice now, Jesus shows you how to do a reset. He actually redefines and reframes what a neighbor is. When you go back and look at that verse, he says, which one of these was his neighbor? He actually turned the word neighbor from it being positional to being relational. See, a neighbor isn't where that person is. A neighbor is who you are. Are y'all walking with me here? He changed the word neighbor from a noun to a verb. He's saying is what you do is not who you are. Y'all, yeah. And so he's saying now, you need to examine yourself. You go back, it says, love your neighbor. Oh, so how you love yourself, you're supposed to love your neighbor. How you dress yourself, you're supposed to dress your neighbor. How you care for yourself, you're supposed to care for your neighbor. How you respect yourself, you're supposed to respect your neighbor. So it's not about your position. It's about your relationship. Then he says, which one? He said he showed him mercy, right? And so he's saying here, we got to learn how to show mercy. Notice now, he didn't wait for someone to tell him to go do it. He didn't have someone to say, what do you think? Let me call. You know, I see this guy out here. What you think I ought to do? You better keep going. You don't know who he is. You don't know what he might do to you. All of those things are real. Those are real. All right. But at some point we have to show some mercy, that we have to put ourselves in harm's way. Because I know one who put himself, let me slow down, in harm's way for someone who wasn't worthy, someone who didn't deserve to live. Let me slow down. And so he says now that you need to express yourself. Then you need to show some mercy. But then he says now you need to erase the lines. You know, we talk about crossing the aisles. He's saying erase the lines and erase the aisles, that there shouldn't be anything that divides us one from another. And I know that being a neighbor isn't convenient. I know that it happens at the most inopportune time. And I know that it causes you to just work your nerves, and it's hard to be patient with some folks. And I know that it happens at the wrong time, at the wrong place, with the wrong person. And I know all of those things happen. That's what was happening to them. It wasn't a good time. If it had been on his day off, he would have stopped. If he didn't have a meeting, he would have slowed down. But the Bible says for us to love our neighbors as ourselves. So if that were me watching me, that's you watching you. Are you going to sit there and just watch you die? We're going to talk about how much we love the Lord. 1 John 4:20. Did I say? If I didn't say it, let's take a look at that. 1 John. That's not the book of John. That's all the way near the back, near the book of Revelation. 1 John said, whoever claims. Then y'all, in that way we were just claiming to love God. We just, oh, how we love you. You just sing, right? He said, whoever claims to love God. How many of you claim to love God? Raise your hand. Come on. Yeah, all right. So you claim to love God, yet hates a brother or sister is that's what the text says, right? For whoever does not love their brother and sister, whom they have seen, half dead, in need, have seen, cannot love God, whom they have not seen. All of this we sit up here singing about and talking about. But yet, how do we treat one another? Whether they look like us or don't look like us. Whether they act like us or don't act like us. Whether they worship like us or don't worship like us. Whether they vote like us or don't vote like us. Whether they cheer for the same. Well, we can't talk about that. Yeah, can't cheer for some folks. Some teams you can't cheer for. All right. Yeah, all right. So how does this look? Watch this. Grace over gossip. Speak with love instead of with lies. Forgiveness over fussing and fighting. You don't have to win the argument to be able to forgive. Compassion over competition. You don't have to be one up somebody. Serving over selfishness. You do it out of joy, not out of a job. Peace over pettiness. Mature out of the mess. Don't get in the mess. Mature over the mess. Be above the mess. So let me give you what a relationship reset looks like. Relationship reset requires mercy in motion. That word for mercy, it is really compassion in action. It's not about how you feel. It's about how you function. Oh, I feel so bad for them. What you doing for them? Oh, I just feel really, really bad. What you doing for? You know, Pastor, I feel real, real bad. I feel this is really bad. Well, can you help this Saturday? I feel bad. I can't make it this Saturday, but I do feel bad. Well, can you make a donation? I feel real bad. But I can't help you out this week. You know, I got my own bills. But Jesus just doesn't want us to fix things. He wants us to upgrade them. Go back and look at the very last part of that verse. Still in the book of Luke. Look at the very last part. He says here, Jesus told him this is a command. He didn't suggest, all right? This is a command. Go and do likewise. In other words, this word go is the same word he used in Matthew 28 when he said, go make disciples of all nations, teaching them to do all the things that I have taught you. He's saying here now that this go is with a purpose. This isn't something just willy-nilly that when you figure it out. No, he's talking about go with a purpose. And then this word do, it's talking about an action. It's talking about putting things into action. And this isn't a one-time act. The form of this word is an imperative, a present tense imperative, which means you do it over and over. You make it a lifestyle and you're going. You're neighborly. You're just not a neighbor on Sundays from 11 to whatever time. No, this is when your Sunday theology meets up with your Tuesday reality. When you got to see what's really happening. See, your religion might last through Monday. Y'all might have enough Jesus in you right now to get you through Monday. But when Tuesday morning comes, that's when it hits the road. Y'all can fill in them other letters, but I said it. I don't know what you're thinking. I said when it hits the road. When your Tuesday morning comes, where's your Sunday morning theology? When your orthodoxy, what you believe, does it show up with your orthopraxy? Do the two come together? Do what you believe in your head and in your heart translate to your hands and to your feet? He said, go and do likewise. This is a command. The sad part, Jesus was talking to religious people, not relational people. That's why you hear me say often, it's not about membership. That's about rules and regulations. It's about relationships, how we treat one another, regardless of where I'm from and what I've been through. Sometimes when we're coming on this life, you don't know what a person has encountered just to get to these doors. But they need to see the love of Jesus. They don't need anybody looking them up and down what they got on, what they don't have on, what they smell like, what they look like. Yeah, so they took a hit before they got in here. Y'all will catch that one later. But it's all right. They're in here. Whether they're in here, in the house, or online, we got to love them like God loved us. He loved us so much. See, I was that one on the street, half dead. I was physically alive, but I was spiritually dead. Many of you in here might be half dead. You're spiritually dead, but you're physically alive. And thank God that someone crossed not only an aisle, but went to a cross for you and for me. That thank God that he looked far beyond my faults and your faults and saw our needs. Thank God it says while we were yet sinners, he didn't wait for us to become good because we had no good in us. I'm so thankful that I serve a God who loves me, not because of who I am, but because of whose I am. He loves me. So he wants you to build up your relationships. He wants you to be consistent with your love. He doesn't want it just to be occasional. He wants you to upgrade your emotions into your actions. He wants you to initiate. Don't wait for someone else. He wants you to live mercy as a rhythm, not as a one-time act. He wants you to develop a lifestyle that reflects redemption. That's what he wants from you. That's what he wants from me. He wants us to get our relationships right. You know, whatever you do in the vertical reflects your horizontal. And whatever you do in your horizontal reflects your vertical. So as 1 John 4:20 says, how can you say you love the Lord whom you have not seen when you hate the one whom you have seen? Some of us are difficult to love. Amen, lights. Yeah, don't look to your left or your right. Just take out your phone and take a selfie or something and just look in the mirror, right? I'm looking at myself. Some of us are hard to love. Say amen. So what does Jesus want us to do? He wants us to show that kind of love without question. So let me give you your third relationship upgrade. It's about purpose, not preference. It's, as I said, being a godly neighbor isn't convenient. It isn't easy. But if we're to love, I think I gave the definition for love earlier, but if I didn't, let me give it to you again. Love does what? It's the kind of love that you choose on purpose and continuously to do what's best for someone else. That's what God did for us. He chose to come to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And the same type of love, when we say love the Lord your God, that's agape love. It's the same type of love we're supposed to have for ourselves and for others. So how does that look? Well, let me give you your bottom line first. Godly neighbors do not pause. We don't stop. We don't hesitate, because that's a spiritual malfunction. We pursue. Okay, so I'm going to challenge all of you this week. These are some real challenges. I want you to love someone this week who can't return it and watch Jesus show up. Here's one. These, you could think of more, but I got 3 here. Apologize to the coworker you argue with, even if they were wrong. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Let me read that one again. Some of y'all need me to read that one again. Apologize to the coworker you argue with, even if they were wrong. Here's one. I think we all got at least some writing to do. Write a letter of reconciliation to your estranged family member. Write a letter of reconciliation, not one of them scathing letters that you've already written. Whether you've mailed it or not, it's on paper. Write one. How about this one here? Send a text to someone who hurt you, not to fight, but to forgive. Send a text. Then don't turn around and block them. I know how some of you operate. You hit send, boom, block, boom, boom. Don't even want to get it back. Or you may have already blocked them. You might have to say, how you unblock somebody? I've never blocked them. How you? Oh, see, these folks over here, y'all don't block them? You hear? My people, my praise team, y'all was supposed to say, Pastor, we don't know like you don't know. But no, what you do is, and here's what you do. You see what they say? Here's what you do. You go over here, and you tap this right here, and you hit unblock. Y'all did just see that on YouTube, right? Okay, you YouTube it. Okay, whew. I see we got some work to do on Thursday night. All right, so y'all know how to unblock. Thank you. All right. This is only half of it. We're going to finish it up next week. If we're going to be kingdom revolutionists, we got to look different. We got to act different. The world is starving for authenticity, for genuine love. They can't get it out there. They should be able to get it in here. We should extend that to each other out of grace and mercy that was extended to you and to me. I believe that's enough for you today. We got work to do, don't we?